Good day, class. Today we will be learning how to simplify and operate expressions. Before we begin simplifying and operating expressions, we must first know these definitions. Factor is a number or algebraic expression that divides another number or expression evenly with no remainder. Foiling is a technique used to help remember the steps required to multiply two binomials. Expressions, numbers, symbols, and operators such as plus, times, subtraction, and division grouped together that show the value of something. Polynomials, an expression of more than two algebraic terms, especially the sum of several terms that contain different powers of the same variable. Term, a number or a product of a number and variables raised to a power. Coefficient, the numerical factor of each term, and constant, the term without a variable. We will first start off with combined like terms. The definition of combined like terms is they are termed with the same variable factors but may have different coefficients. So if you see below, there's two examples of addition and multiplication. This is important because when we start foiling, we combine like terms. We now start with distributing. The definition of distributing is this is when you multiply some by multiplying each added separately and then add the products. So example number 1, you can see that 6 is in front of the brackets of x plus y. You can see that the 6 is being distributed to everything that is inside the bracket. So you can see that the final result is 6x plus 6y. This is important because when you FOIL, you will distribute terms. If we refer back to our foiling definition, which is a technique used to help remember the steps required to multiply two binomials, you can see how on the picture there are two different binomials, that is a plus b in one parenthesis and c plus d in another. We can see how the acronym first, outer, inner, last works. Because the first is when A is distributed into C and how A is distributed into D. Then we start with B getting distributed into C and B getting distributed into D. Now that we saw how to FOIL binomials, let's kick it up a notch and start foiling polynomials. In this example, you will see how x plus 3y squared is foiled. You can see how it starts by, instead of just having x plus 3y squared, it is separated into two different parts, x plus 3y times x plus 3y. Once that is done, that's where the foiling begins. When the foiling is finished, you can see how they then start combining like terms. And the end result will give us our answer. Class, now that I've showed you how to FOIL, distribute, and combine like terms, it is your turn to create a PowerPoint. In your PowerPoint, you must create 5 examples like listed below. Yes, I know these are all letters, but you are to switch them to numbers except x and y. You can see how number 3 is 2 b's, x minus b times x plus b. This means that it must be the same number. Once you're done giving these examples in your PowerPoint, you must switch with your partner and you will solve their examples as well as they will solve yours. Once you guys are both done, you guys will compare the differences and similarities of your answers. And yes, I know that you guys will choose different numbers, but the key here is to see how you came up with your solution. What approaches did you use? Did you use the same approaches? Did you use different approaches? If you did his or her approach, would you get to your answer, etc.? Once you guys are done with that, you will compare the examples of 1, 2, 3, or 5. How is it different approaching to 5 than it is to 2? How is it different approaching 3 than it is to 1, etc. Then we will come to class and discuss in the group discussion how they are different and how they are similar.